Hi, and welcome to another episode of Parenting on Purpose. Before I get started, I want to just check in and see how you're doing. Have you had a chance to practice self-care and do something for yourself? If you haven't, this is just a gentle reminder that maybe today to take some time just for yourself, and I want to remind you that you're doing a great job. So today's episode is all about how to have a successful family meeting. And you might ask, well, what is a family meeting? Well, I'm going to tell you what it's not. It's not when you invite all of the kids to the living room and you lecture them about everything they're doing wrong and how their house is always a mess. Basically, the kids are going to tune out and they're going to leave feeling that they don't have a voice in the family and that all you care about is fixing them and having a clean house. I may or may not have had a couple of those meetings, and from experience, they don't work. So that's what a family meeting is not. In order to have a successful family meeting, you're going to want to invite, engage, be prepared, and keep it short. If you've never had a family meeting, no matter how old your kids are, it's a great time to start. Basically, a family meeting is a time and place where you can connect as a family and just check in on everybody. You could bring up any problems that you are facing as a family, maybe have a place where you can make decisions as a family, and of course, have fun. There's going to be times when you cover one or all of these things. No matter what you cover in your family meeting, you want to make sure that everybody leaves feeling like they're heard and cared for. Find a time and a day that works for everybody and then invite everyone. You can just talk to them. If you have older kids, maybe you can text them or maybe send them a Google invite. Be creative, have fun. Maybe you want to put up a poster in your living room and with an invitation and markers, and everybody has to RSVP right on that poster. Anything goes. Just choose a time where everybody's going to feel rested and fed, no matter what age they are. And be prepared with a short agenda. If you've never had a meeting before, you might want this one to be memorable and fun if it's your first one. And so you might want to do something like coming up with a family motto, a secret handshake, maybe a family cheer. No matter what it is, just make sure that you listen to everybody. Everybody has a contribution and that you're not going to judge the weird ideas they might come up with. A regular meeting usually includes a time where family members all get to have a say and mention anything that they like. So some families do something called a beefs and bouquets. So basically it's just going around the room and everyone in the family brings up one thing that's kind of negative, maybe something that annoyed them that week or something they feel bad about. They also have to end it with something positive, maybe something they did that they're proud of. And as parents, just come prepared to share something positive about each one of your children that you noticed maybe that week. This meeting can also be a time when you bring up any problems that might need to be solved as a family. So you should not use this time to bring up anything that for a family member that's going to be too personal or embarrassing. It's a time where you bring up items that affect like the whole family. So for example, maybe you have a 10-year-old that's always slamming his door. So you bring it up in a way so that he has to come up with some ideas to problem solve this issue, and then family is there to support him. So it's not a place where you're basically getting kids in trouble. It's about being a team and being supportive of one another. And depending on the age of the child, this problem solving, you might want to have some ideas in your back pocket if they're younger and can't come up with ones on their own. But as kids get older, they're going to be able to come up with problem solving ideas on their own, and you'll have less of a say in it. So some families like to keep a notebook for their family meetings and just write down the agenda, write down things that were talked about. So let's say you did come up with a problem-solving idea for this issue for the 10-year-old. It would be a good place to bring it up at the following meeting. So make sure it's written down. Tips for having a good meeting are to keep in mind the abilities of each child. Depending on their age and their temperament, they may not be able to sit still for very long, and so you want to come up with creative ideas to keep them engaged. So other than keeping the meeting short, you could have paper and pencils where they can draw things that are being discussed. You can bring Play-Doh where they can mold things. You just want to make sure that it's something that's going to work for them and it isn't going to be too distracting for everybody else. You could also ask an older child to keep the minutes of the meeting on like a family laptop. That might keep them busy as well and feel important. Another really important tip to remember is that You're not going to be able to solve problems in these family meetings. It's more like a starting point for problem solving, and it's more about having open discussion and feeling supported for every member of the family. When you hold these family meetings, you're teaching your children so many things. You're teaching them that they have a voice in what happens in their family home. You're teaching them how to problem solve, how to sit still and listen. You're teaching them how to build trust and connection with your family. That's probably the most important thing that you're teaching them. So these are the basics for having a successful family meeting. I really hope that you will try having them and let us know how it went. And again, just thank you so much for tuning in to Parenting on Purpose. I hope you have a fabulous week. My name is Neela. Take care.